Okay, so this is going to be for week 11, Monday, and it is going to be on geometry. Emma, I need you to use your headphone, please. All right, so we're going to go over some terminologies here. Question number 1. If two angles are congruent, their measurements are also equingruent. That will be true. If two angles are congruent, then they are also adjacent. That will be false, because if two angles are congruent, like for example, right here, 90 and 90, in this case, they are, okay? But it is very possible that if you have vertical angles, like those two angles are the same, but they're not adjacent. Adjacent means like they share. No, it means they share a side together. Do you see how that one shares a side? So this one is congruent and adjacent. Do you see that? These two are congruent, but they're not adjacent. Do you see that? Because they don't share a side. They have to share a side. What does this mean? What is this? What is that? I don't know. Let's just put true on that one. I don't know what this is. All right, for problem D to G. Where is D here? It says DM. Where is D? Where is that angle? I think she means angle. If angle M is equal to angle R, where is R? Oh no, this right here. I don't know what she's talking about. Okay, so do you see how these two angles are the same right here? She's saying angle M equals angle R. No, not necessarily. So, okay, in a triangle is gonna be 180 degrees, right? This angle is 45, so let's subtract 45 from both of those. If I subtract 45 from both of them, this will give me 135, right? 135. You see how these two angles are exactly the same? Which means you take that and divide it by 2. If I divide that by 2, because remember, those two angles added together equals 135. So 135 divided by 2 is going to give me a 67.5 degrees. So each of these angle right here is 67.5 degrees, okay? So it's saying, is angle M equal to angle R? That's false, okay? All right, angle 1, which is this part right here, is adjacent to angle 3. Angle 3 is right here. Are they next to each other? Do they share a same line or same side? No, they don't. This angle shares this. Angle 2 and 3 are adjacent, or 2 and 1 are adjacent. This is false. Wait, why? I meant false. Okay, angle RAM. RAM, so here is RAM. So this angle right here, RAM, and RAT, which is this angle right here, are complementary. Complementary means that they add up to 90 degrees. They do not. So false. Angle 2 and 3 are vertical angles. 2 and 3 are not vertical angles. Vertical angles will have to be like this. Do you see that? So that will be false. Draw 5 points A, B, C, D, E, so all 3 statements are true. I'm assuming that's angle. A, B, D, and E, D, B form a linear pair. So A, D, B. A, D, B. And then EDB. So E is right here, DB. That forms a linear pair, it creates a straight line. Do you see that? ADC is a right angle. So we're going to go up here, ADC, that's going to be C, creates a right angle. Do you see that? BDE, and this is why I like to use color pencil. So BDE is an acute angle. So in that case, I need to have this over here. BDE, that's cute. Do you see that? Because before it was obtuse, right? Okay, E is in the interior of obtuse ABC. So A, B, C. That doesn't. Oh, okay, that's the first one. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to B. So this is A. Okay. We're gonna put B over here, okay? E is in the interior of the obtuse angle ABC. So here's A, B, C. There's ABC, right? E, so this will be E. That's on the inside, right? DBE, DBE is a right angle. So then let's make this one right here DBE or DBE. Okay, hold on a second. Is a right angle. So then we'll put D right here, DBE. That's a right angle, right? ABD, ABD is a straight angle. Okay, which means I have to move this a little bit. Okay, if ABD is going to be a straight angle, so here's A, B, D. So ABD is a straight angle, right? Sometimes I have to work from behind. So ABD is a straight angle. This is a straight angle, right? ABD. Now I'm going to work backwards, okay? So then I'm going to have BDE is a right angle. So DBE, we'll put E right here. That is a right angle, 90 degrees, right? E is in the interior of obtuse ABC. So A, B, I'm going to move C right here. And do you see how this right here is still obtuse? So that still works. And E is inside there, okay? So this right here will be B. Do you see that? Okay, number 3. Okay, assuming that angle A and B are complementary. So here is number 3. Okay, so A, complementary means they add up to what? 90 degrees, right? A and B are complementary, and B and C, so here's B and C are supplementary. So if in order to make this, here's B, C will have to be right here because they have to create a straight line. Do you see the straight line right here? You need to copy all of this down on a separate piece of paper, okay? If angle A equals 37, if A equals 37, did she go over any of this with you? If A equals 37, then angle B is 90 degrees. Angle B is 90 degrees minus 37 degrees. Okay, so you figure that out. You understand? Angle C, well, I would need to figure out what angle B is. Angle B will be 43, right? No, 53. 53, yeah. So if angle B is 53 degrees, angle C, do you see how B and C makes a straight angle? So that means you would take 180 minus 53, which is like 127 degrees. Okay, I gotta go pick up your brother. I want you to keep working on number 3 and the rest of these, but you have to draw pictures like this. Do you understand? Oh, that's right. You're supposed to read. All right, so let's go ahead and continue with this. So we just finished number 3. So then for number 4, it says, decide whether the statement is always, sometimes, or never true, and then explain why. So for number A, or letter A, if 2 angles are supplementary, so if 2 angles are supplementary, I always like to draw a picture so you can see better this way. They are adjacent. That will be true. Do you see how this angle is right next to this angle? And the reason they're next to is they share a side right there. You see that? So this one will be always. Okay? If 2 angles are supplementary, then one angle is acute and the other one's obtuse. Well, that's not always true because I can go ahead and have 2 right angles, right? So that would be sometimes true. Okay, sometimes. Okay. If 2 angles are complements of the same angle, then they are congruent. Sometimes true. And the reason is it's complement means 90. So you can have an angle that's like a little bit smaller than the other one. So I'll put sometime. If 2 angles are right angles, they are complementary. That's always. Well, actually, no. if two angles are right angles. So if two angles are right angles like this, 90 and 90, if the two angles are 90, they're not complementary, they're supplementary because they need to add up to 180 degrees. Do you see that? So this is never, okay? If two angles are congruent and adjacent, they are supplementary. Well, that's sometimes, like for example, for this one, you see how the two are 90 degrees, right? They're congruent, they're equal, right? 90 equals 90, and they're adjacent because they share this middle side. This one is supplementary, but if you take a look at the first one right here, like here is the first one. Here's the second one. The first one, they're not congruent. Obviously, there's an obtuse angle and an acute angle, right? But they're still supplementary. They still make a straight line, okay? An obtuse angle is scalene. What that means is that scaling means that this side is not equal to that side, is not equal to this side, and this is the obtuse angle. Not true necessarily. It is very possible that these two sides are equal, which means these two angles are equal, and this is still obtuse, okay? So let's say, for example, if this angle right here is 100, this angle could be 40, and this angle has to be 40. Do you see that? So that's sometimes true. The vertex of the angle of an isosceles triangle is acute. So if you have an isosceles triangle, that means two sides are equal, right? The vertex angle of an isosceles triangle is acute. If it's isosceles, these two sides are equal, right? So these are acute, so we could say this is 80, 80, right? Which is 160, that would be 20. So I can say that this is always true. Okay, so make sure you actually write the answers down, okay? For B, we need to finish this one. I forgot we had this one. DB equals 85. Hold on a second. I think I'm gonna just move this to another page so we have a little more space here. Okay, so if DB equals 85, angle, I guess it means angle B is 85. I don't know what she's talking about here. Angle A and angle B are complementary. No, this is not the right one. Come on. I love how she gives you really, really hard homework, but doesn't bother explaining any of this. This is crazy. No, the level of difficulty on these things, I'm like, it is astounding.
Is what I was doing
In high school.
in high school.
Yeah, I was.
Sophomore.
Well, here's the thing, like he got the pink paper, which is like 3 sheets of vocabulary, but he has to fill it out, but they never actually went over them. Yeah, so I took a while going over. So angle B is 85. So this angle right here is 85 degrees, right? And it says then angle A will equal, well, you know, A and B are complementary, so they add up to 90. So this will be 90 minus 85, okay? Which is what? Good, 5 degrees, okay? Angle C is, so if angle B is 85, what is angle C gonna be? Notice how they create a straight line, remember? A straight line is equal to what? 180, right? 180 minus 85 will give you C. Okay, so 180 minus 85. Write that down, okay? Okay, C. I'm gonna try this again. Okay, if angle C is 120 124. So angle C, this is angle C right here, is 124 degrees. The angle B is what? How would you find angle B? Remember, C plus B equals what? It's a straight line, so it's 100 and so 180 minus C gives you B. So 180 minus what? Which is? Yeah, and that'll give you the answer, okay? Angle A is right here, but we need to figure out what angle B is before we get angle A, because they're 90, right? So what is B? What is 180 minus 124? Don't look at me, just make sure you do the math.
Overall, she did say you're well.
What did you get, Grayson, for C? Or what is angle B? 180 minus 124 is 56, right? Okay, so if angle B, this angle right here is 56 degrees, right? And A plus B equals 90, right? Because they're complementary. A plus B equals 90 degrees. Well, if B is 56, then A plus 56 equals 90. How do you find A? Opposite of a positive 56 is? Yeah, so A equals 90 minus 56. So figure that out and that'll give you the answer, okay? Do you understand? Yeah, 34, and this one on top is gonna be a 95. Just make sure to check, okay? All right, so that concludes the first part. I don't even think you could do 5. Let's find the value of each angle in the figure below. I'm assuming, let's just redraw this. And here's the other thing. She cut off the work right there. So we're just to say, assuming there is a right angle, right? We'll just say this angle right here is 90. And how do you find this angle right there? How would you find this angle right here? You know, the whole triangle is add up to what? The entire triangle, sum of a triangle is equal to 101. 180, right? So if you have 90 and 29, couldn't I just subtract the two to get the third angle? Okay, so subtract it, and you should be able to get that last angle, which is right here. Okay, so do 180 minus 90. What's 180 minus 90? Half of 180 isn't a 90? Yeah, 90 minus 29 gives you what? No, 90 minus 29. 61 degrees, right? Okay. All right, that concludes the first one. Let's go on to the second one, because this clearly is not 20 minutes worth of homework. This is ridiculous amount of homework. Okay, so I'm sorry, but I have to say something about this. Look at this. I'm like, you expect them to do this like on the freaking first day? Like, that is insane. Did you even teach them how to use a protractor? Do they even know how to use a protractor? It's due tomorrow. It is due tomorrow. I'm just frustrated right now. All right. I didn't.
No, like she needs to us at the end of the day because we have like a worksheet to do and
Did you turn that one in? Well, do you still have it? Do I need to do that one too? Do I need to do that one too? Yeah, does it? All right, so let's take a look. This angle is 66. Is that what it says on your paper? Okay, if that angle is 66, you know, these two angles are vertical angles, which means they're equal. So what is angle 3 going to be? They're equal. Okay, do you see how A or 2 plus 3 creates a straight angle? What's the degree of a straight angle? Straight angle is equal to what? 100 and what? 180, right? Just like the sum of a triangle, like all three angles in a triangle equals 180. So if 3 is 66, how would you find angle 2? If angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180, right? And you know, angle 3 is 66. So angle 2 plus 66 degrees equals 180. What's opposite of 66? Positive 66. Yeah, so subtract it. What do you get? Yeah, if angle 2 is 16 degrees, angle 2 and angle 4 are vertical angles. Do you see the crisscross? They're opposite angles of each other. They're vertical angles. That means they're equal. So what does angle 4 equal to? They're the same. If angle 2 is 16, yes, there you go. All right. I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little bit agitated, but I need to go to my class and I don't have time to do this with you later today. What angle is this one right here? Are you sure that's 12? Is it 22 or 12? That makes a difference. Is it 22 or 12 on your paper? Where is your paper then? What is it? 32? That makes a difference, doesn't it? Because I'll screw everything up if I got it wrong. If this is 90, these two angles added together is going to be 90 degrees. If one of them is 32, this angle right here, this one right there, do you see what I'm pointing at? Is going to be 90 degrees minus 32. That is going to give you your answer. So you're going to have to figure that out. What is this angle right here? That angle is 68. This angle right here is 40, yes? These two are vertical angles. If that's 40, that means this is 40. The entire triangle, this angle plus this angle plus this angle, is added to 180. So for you to find this angle right here, do you see the one I'm pointing at? You would take 180, which is the entire triangle, minus the two angles that you know. You know, one of them is 68, the other one is 40. Subtract that, that's going to give you your answer for this angle right here in blue. Do you see that? Okay, moving on. Figure 5. Okay. Do you see the straight angle right there? This angle right here, for one, angle 1 is going to be 180 minus 142. That is going to give you angle 1. Do you see that? Angle 3. Do you see the straight line creates? Yes? For you to find angle 3, it's going to be angle 3 equals 180 minus, is that a 65? That's 65? That's going to give you the angle for angle 3, okay? Angle 4. Do you see angle 4 right here? If you already know angle 1 and 3, you know 2 of the angles in a triangle, you know the entire triangle is 180 degrees, right? So then take 180 degrees minus angle 1 minus angle 2, that will give you angle 4, or angle 3, not just kidding, minus angle 3, that will give you angle 4. Do you see that? So once you find those answers, you just subtract it, it'll give you that answer there. All right, figure 6. I don't know, what are we finding for figure 6? Doesn't make any sense. What are we doing? It doesn't say anything. I don't know what she wants me to do with this. TN bisects LTE. Okay, so TN is this one right there, right? If it bisects an angle, that means these two angles are the same, right? Do you see the straight line right there? If that's a straight line, you know that to find this entire angle, that angle is 180 minus 110, right? Which is 70 degrees, right? If these two angles are equal, that means it's going to be half of 70 degrees each, right? What's half of 70? 35. 35 degrees for each of these, right? Angle T, they're vertical angles. Do you see the vertical angles right here? The X I'm making? If this angle is 110, this angle is 110 as well, okay? This angle here is vertical angle to these two angles combined. Do you see that? Do you see the T right here, or the X right there? If those two angles are 35 each, altogether is 70, so this angle is 70 as well. So make sure you label it, Okay, I'm video recording this so you can watch this later. And I don't have enough time to do all of these right here, so I am going to just end it, and then you're gonna just have to watch the video.